Welcome into Bears Week. This is the Packers offensive breakdown of Game 1 against Chicago. That was too close of a game, but obviously the Packers squeaked by with a win. Let's dive right into the film. Let's see the offensive performance against the Bears this week. Starting out with play 1, we're going to get a nice out route here by Dobbs against a cover 3 DB. He's going to get his hips to turn around. So Tom does a good job of making sure that his defender goes extremely wide, right? And that's going to give Love an opportunity to step up here. And if we look at the top of the screen as well, this is just a simple spacing concept. I think the spacing is a little bit too close, personally. You're going to have a guy here. You're going to have a guy here. You've got an outbreaker. So Love's eyes are going to go to this side of the field. If there's anything that pops open, he's going to throw the ball at the sticks, try to get a first down. It's not there. And you can see Dobbs wide open with a nice route there. With that inside stem, breaks down with his hips, gets outside, and creates that separation for a nice first down. So well done by Romeo Dobbs there. And then jumping straight into the next play, this is the 12 men on the field for the Bears. Get lined up, get the snap off. Couldn't get off in time and fired in there to Reed. Also, I know I talked about this in my last video, but Jordan Love throwing behind his receivers. This is an instance where you want him to throw behind his receiver, right? Because he's protecting him from the safety. By putting this ball low and behind him, it gives him a chance to brace for that contact from the safety. And Reed does a nice job of catching that, getting a nice touchdown, getting the Packers on the board here to take the lead against Chicago. All right, here you've got Jaden Reed coming in motion. You can identify, you can see number 6 following across the formation. You know it's going to be man, and this is that perfect play call. So you can see because he's got across the formation, he's got to go around these linebackers. He's going to be playing off coverage. So if you have this swing screen on, right, you've got these 2 blockers, and Reed has to beat 1 man on the outside, and you're going to get that first down. All right, so just good play design there. That's the perfect defense, the perfect matchup that you want to see against that, and that's just easy yardage to move the ball down the field. All right, this next play, it could have been a free play, touchdown, but Jenkins is going to be moving here. Of course, we got that left guard. He's going to jump off sides, and Jenkins is going to move just a little bit too early. And that's going to get called because he puts his hand on him as well. So got neutral zone infraction. They blow the play dead. But this play call against this coverage was perfect. Right? So the whistles are blown dead, so they stop the play. But this is a one-on-one shot here, a cover 1 man. So that is an explosive play at the least, if not a touchdown, if that play gets to get played out, you know. So missed opportunity there, but again, Matt LaFleur calling in perfect plays in these situations. And again, this was a 4th down, so you move the chains regardless of that offsides. One of the big issues that the Packers had was in the red zone, and this is going to be one of those red zone opportunities. That's that same drive extended by the 4th down offsides. And you're just going to get a simple overthrow here. Right? You do have a 2-man concept, right? You're essentially going to get this stick route that's coming here and a corner over the top, right? Something that the Bears love to do is their flat defender. He's going to be a cloud defender. So he's going to sink and try to help with a deep man. So you want to hit this guy underneath. Now, Love is set. He's already throwing. And he throws it too high. And because he throws it too high, Kraft pulls. He doesn't extend his arms all the way. He pulls them back right before he gets fully extended, because he might think that, oh, I know I've got this concept, right? I've got this corner behind me, so it might be going to him. But unfortunately, it was just an errant throw. And because of the errant throw, Kraft pulls his arms away, and that is a turnover in the red zone. And that's not something that you want to see from the Packers. Something that we saw a lot of in this game was Josh Jacobs getting involved in the pass game. And we've seen this design before. The West Coast offense has outlets all the time, right? And this is a wrinkle that I've seen in recent years in the West Coast offenses. But instead of just having your guy on an outlet alone, you bring an additional blocker out here. So it's a delayed screen. So you have your routes, you have your play call that's going out, but this is always your check down, right? And right now, if we look at the coverage, you've got a too high shell. It looks like they're playing some version of quarters, right? You're going to have your curl to flat defenders out here. So you've got a one-on-one matchup. With this one-on-one matchup, you've got your block here. And this play, I just love Jacobs afterwards. Sims with a nice block. Jacobs right there, signaling, come on, come try to tackle me. And then dropping the shoulder, staying balanced, and getting a first down. You just love to see that. Jacobs getting involved in the pass game. Jacobs' enthusiasm for contact. And, you know, he's been great for the Packers this entire season. So well played there by the Packers. This next play is going to be great patience here to set up this route. It's a big play by Watson, but you're going to get a play action. You're going to have Jenkins. He's going to pull. Jacobs is going to take the play action. And then you're going to have Watson, who's going to be stuttering. He's going to keep his shoulder squared as if he's blocking. And then he's going to go to a slot fade. You've got Dobbs, who's going to take that outside defender, do a post, and then slant up. And this is the target. All right, so you've got that high shell again. This looks like a cover 3. So he's going to be responsible for that third vertical. And you can see Dobbs does a good job stepping on his toes, getting him to carry, and it leaves this curl to flat defender in a tough situation to cover Watson. And he's got to do a speed turn to get out of it. The ball is already out. Ball is in the air. It hits Watson. He's not able to get too many extra yards, but that is a big play for a first down, getting the Packers in better position for a score. That play obviously sets up an easy touchdown run here. Nice inside run here. And Jacobs breaks one arm tackle from the safety, and that's an easy touchdown. Not too much to analyze there. Just offensive line doing a good job winning their blocks. Nice double team converts into getting the second level defender as well. And Jacobs just has to make one guy miss, and that's an easy touchdown. All right, here we have a big play by the Packers. And we've got this concept. You've got a deep post, a deep crosser. You're going to have a shallow crosser here. So you've got essentially your option 1, option 2. And then you're going to have a deep dig that kind of comes behind it. So the idea is, which they're showing a cover 3 shell. All right, so you've got a deep third, a deep third here. The idea is, because you've got one deep post, you're going to occupy this guy, and he's eventually coming from this side of the field to this side of the field. So if his leverage is off, then it becomes a little bit complicated for him to cover that post across the face. And if he is occupied, then you have this dig underneath, so he can't sit on it, and he's got outside leverage to trail behind this dig. So I think this is ideally against this look where you want to try to go. But Love is going to see his opportunity here. A play action. 29 vacates his zone. He bites on the run. Right, he's biting down. He doesn't see anyone coming into his zone, so this is a blown coverage by the Bears. And I personally think he should be throwing it here. That is a guaranteed completion with run after the catch with one blocker, and that is a potential touchdown. However, Love, we know he likes to take his chances, throws it into double coverage, and Watson is able to come down with it at the 8-yard line. So I don't think it was the greatest decision by Love necessarily. Watson does a nice job of coming down with it and making sure that it's not a turnover. But there was certainly a better decision on this play that Love could have made. But well done. Good execution on that play. Able to get down within the 10-yard line. And then we get into the red zone defense by the Bears, and this is just fundamental defense by the Bears. I personally don't really like the play call against zone. There's going to be some pressure there. He gets pushed out to the right, has to try to scramble. And again, this is 4th down, 4th and goal, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Part of the reason I don't really like this play is it's zone, and yes, you're trying to find the spacing, but you have a condensed split here, and they don't really push the spacing of the zone, right? You've got 2 routes within 5 yards of each other. They both have a man on them. You've got the corner that's going over the top, which has a safety that can attach to it. And this corner here, if that corner gets thrown, right, he's just going to sink back and pick that off because he's got eyes on the QB. So I don't really like this play call with the zone defense that the Bears play. They're pretty stout. They have eyes on the QB. They know where the ball's going to end up. And I think the biggest way that you can attack this is having routes that are going to cross the field and force these zones to be challenged. Because if you've got eyes on the QB and you've got someone running behind those eyes, that's where you're going to find soft spots in the zone. Right. So if you have this guy cross over the top and then you have another one cross underneath, this guy is going to have to make a choice. Either he keeps trailing this receiver or he stops and he sits with this receiver. So there's too many moving parts when you have multiple crossers in the red zone. Of course, you can't run that every single time, but it does create problems for zone defense, the division defense that you see the Bears play here. And unfortunately, the struggles in the red zone this game were multiple. Obviously, you have this 4th down that fails. You had the pick earlier in the red zone that failed. So you have a potential of 6 points if you settle for field goals on each of those. That would make this game a little bit easier in the end. And we're going to have a big play here from Watson. And the motion from Reed, you know it's man coverage. Doesn't look so good at the start. Watson getting jammed with 2 hands. He's got to be ready for that. One of my favorite things to do as a receiver is just like, if you see they're jamming with both hands, just swipe them down to one side, because then they're going to be the ones off balance instead of you. Does a good job of fighting, selling that vertical stem. And since it is man coverage, by selling that vertical stem, forcing him to try to undercut that, they're going to get tripped up. And a nice diving catch here by Watson. Gets up, continues the run. He's not able to get into the end zone here, but again, puts the Packers at the 14 inside the red zone. It's another red zone opportunity. And we've just got 2 more plays that we're going to look at. Here we're going to get some pressure from the edge. Allows him to step up. He sees a lane. Kraft is going to try to get a block there. Love stretching the ball out. He's able to get the 1st down, but not quite able to get into the end zone on this. But of course, the next play, he's going to be sneaking it in, and then you're going to have a 2-point play afterwards. So nice escapability here, taking the shot, stretching out, and scoring on the very next play. All right, so we'll see the sneak here. You can see A gap is wide open. So all you need to do is get a nice shove up the middle, and that's going to be a nice touchdown for the Packers. And this 2-point play, I don't get it. I don't know why you're running on a 2-point play. And Walker essentially just loses his block here, loses his footing. He lunges, and he's going to lose his balance, loses it. And that's how that tackle gets made. But not the greatest 2-point play. Of course, trying to go up 3, trying to prevent, a field goal from winning the game. But we all know what happens with that field goal at the end. So we'll say the defense. I have another video that's going to be coming out today as well on the Packers defense against the Bears. And we'll see they played well for the most part. They did have a breakdown on that final drive. But, of course, a win is a win. Beating the Bears, it's a habit at this point, but you would like to win more than by 1 point. So I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching the offensive breakdown. Obviously, this was a game where the Bears had stout red zone defense, made the game a lot closer than it should have been. Packers had a ton of explosive plays, and the offense in the end, outside of the red zone, blunders, they looked pretty good. So hopefully they can continue this as the season goes on. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.